I was going to share to you today is just some perspective that we're all seeing of what's happening in the industry, and then how we are thinking about it at PayPal, how we think about it from a technology standpoint. Because the same things that we're doing, I think just at lunch today, we're all facing the same challenges. You know, there are good metaphors for it, and there are lots of colorful ones. I'll take a few back. But why don't I just start off with talking about where we all want to go. It's the best thing that we could do is have a good prediction for what might be a possible outcome, but also to pour our investments and our focus and our energy to be able to shape things so that we're much better positioned to transform our customer experience, our business, and also revolutionize our particular industry, given all of the dynamic change that's happening in the industry. And I really appreciate Bashir for having the opportunity to come here and talk today. It's a really exciting time, and I loved the exchange on architecture and forums earlier because it's so right on the money about how critical it is to have a fantastic tech strategy because it unlocks or it blocks you. Somebody used the quote, you're right, you can ignore architecture, but it won't ignore you. I fundamentally agree and believe in that. So what's happening in the world right now, right? We've entered a whole new era of innovation. The world is changing. People are adopting new form factors. Laptops are now outflanking desktops, not laptops, but tablets are outflanking traditional computers. Mobile devices are really transforming the world. And if you look at this picture, you know, that was just a few years ago, right? Where we had nobody with smartphones and everybody with smartphones. And who would have thought, you know, if I went back in time and I was saying that the Pope is going to have a Twitter account, it's going to be tweeting and posting on Instagram and having Google Hangouts, like how many would actually believe? I probably would have been escorted out of the room and, you know, thank you very much. But this is happening, right? And it's real, and it just is a measure of how quickly the way we communicate, the way we interact is changing. So you know, 8 years is like night and day in the world. And if you look at that in a historic standpoint, right, we're in the middle of a massive revolution. It doesn't maybe feel like it day to day, but we're in the middle of it. And there's huge opportunity to really be able to take it and apply it to your business and set yourselves up to be part of that new innovation that really touches customers' lives and consumers' lives. And a thing that's near and dear to me is look at retail checkout just in 1999. So this is a store, right? You had to, if you wanted to go buy a few things, you'd have to go from this store to this store when they're open, get all your material. Maybe they had it, maybe they didn't. Get in line and do a checkout. Compared to now, which you can now go online 24/7, have a global marketplace at your fingertips, be able to buy things at the best price around the world, conveniently, easily, irregardless of the weather. Doesn't matter where you live, and it's just a phenomenal change in a relatively short amount of time that's hit the entire world, right? And everybody has this at their fingertips. So, you know, what's driving it is really people, consumers adopting technology, the tech that they have, the amount of disruption that's happening, and it's in every single industry, every single vertical is having this happen to them. Just yesterday, I had a quick interview with a radio reporter. I was actually on a jog in the morning, and this woman jumped out of her car and she goes, "I'm doing a radio talk and I want to interview you." And there was no cameraman, there was no microphone, there was nothing. She just had her phone, and we did this, and it was, you know, broadcast on KGO. And it just struck me as I left. It's like, well, phones are even disrupting, you know, radio broadcasters, but it's unleashing them, and it's turning everybody into creators of content. They're being able to enter new areas. And people all around the world have access to all of this information, and it's happening really, really quickly. So Forrester has some great data right? Where just a few years ago, right, 2 years ago in 2013, only 28% of the global population had a smartphone. And by 2019, we're going to see almost 60% of the world, everyone, having a smartphone in their hands. So just think about that. From an experiment standpoint, it's almost like an alien race came and put this advanced technology in the hands of everybody across the planet in a really short period. You have access to the internet. You've got access to publishing, communicating. I just don't think we realize exactly where this is going, but it's unlocking incredible new experiences, incredible opportunities, and it's pretty exciting. And for me and what I do with PayPal and what we're focused on is it's really transforming the retail world. And a lot of these things are hyped. I mean, remember when the internet first came out, there were all these buzzwords and all these hypes. It just took a little while, and they all came to be. And the same thing's happening now. I think we're seeing this convergence of omni-channel. So when you're in a store, you got your mobile device, you're actually connected, you're online, you have access to information, you have access to social, and it's all converging. And consumers are just being practical, and they're using all of these things, and they're coming together in a way that now, if you're a brand, you need to be able to touch your customer and have a continuous dialogue with them, whether it be the website that they were looking at before they got in their car, to the mobile device that they're on in your store, to maybe after the fact for customer support, or they're calling you. The expectation is that all of this stuff works together. And as organizations, we typically like to say, okay, the mobile, the website team is over in this organization, and the stores team is over here, and IT is over here. The reality is all this stuff has to come together. It's all got to link. It's all got to create fantastic experiences, because that's what the people who are going to win in this field are those who are able to bring it all together and have a phenomenal experience across all of these channels. And that's one of the things. It's interesting, it's challenging, but it's a big opportunity to get it right. And so, for PayPal though, like this isn't straightforward. We, like all of you, we have established businesses. We have 162 million active accounts. We're in 203 markets around the world, 100 currencies. We're doing billions through our transactions, through our systems. And yet we want to change and be really aggressive and transform. And what we have been doing is really investing in our platforms, and this is why it's so important to get the architecture set up, not for a particular destination, but I believe that you need to weave agility into every layer of your platform, because you just don't know how you're going to need to configure things. 8 years ago, did anybody really predict with much accuracy where we'd be now? 8 years before that, or 10 years before that, did people really predict where the web was going to go? And so we've got to build flexible platforms, flexible systems that allow us to innovate more quickly. And we were having challenges at PayPal where things were taking, tell me if you've heard this before, it takes too long, right? It costs too much, right? It's too brittle. We all have those problems, right? And so how do you actually make the investments in those fundamental systemic properties and capabilities to empower agility and other people, other engineers and other team members to actually execute faster? And that's a key focus. If I look at architecture, it's about agility with discipline.